It is now time to talk with Steve Kaplan, Township Supervisor for West Bloomfield, about some very exciting updates in the township. Steve, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Good morning, Mandy. You staying warm?
Oh yes, trying to. Steve, let's start off with giving an update about what is happening in West Bloomfield Township. There was a joint board meeting with West Bloomfield Parks on Monday. Can you start off with telling us a little bit about that meeting and what they talked about there?
Sure. Under state law, a Parks and Recreation Commission has to submit and has to approve a master plan every 5 years and then submit that plan to the state and to the township. It's a quirk of state law, Manny, that the Parks Commission needs the Township Board's approval regarding its master plan because they know what they're doing and we hold them in high esteem. As you said, a joint meeting was held on Monday with the 7 Parks Commissioners and the 7 Township Board members. Very interesting because they shared with us their master plan, which includes the several facets that I think people will like. Number one, the hope is to have a senior center at some point, perhaps on campus. And that could occur. They know more than I do about this, but that could occur in the next 2 to 5 years. Right now at Orchard Mall, in the Connect Room, there is a senior citizen area. But ideally, we have 23% senior citizens residing in West Bloomfield. And to have a senior facility would be wonderful. Maybe pickleball with rooms to play cards, large rooms for speakers. Anyway, the Township Board approved the Parks Commission's master plan 7-0. One of the other ideas they talked about is paving the trails, having more restrooms at parks, and perhaps having a park at the southeast quadrant of West Bloomfield. There aren't any parks in the area near Inkster, Middle Belt, say from 14 Mile to Long Lake Road.
On the topics of meetings in West Bloomfield, Steve, there's a special Zox Town Hall meeting on February 9th. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what will be going on in that meeting?
Yes, approximately 4 months ago, a truck driver delivering materials and supplies and in an effort to construct an addition to a home, drove over the bridge, Greer Road east of Hiller Road, and that bridge is really suitable for up to 15 tons. Well, this truck weighed maybe 25 tons and doesn't take a rocket scientist to conclude that that can cause carnage and damage to the bridge, and it did. And we had to close the bridge. It's interesting to note that the Zox subdivision, all the roads are private, and therefore the road commission could not. The road commission owns all roads that are public within a township. This being a township and it's a private road, the road commission doesn't have the jurisdiction to repair the bridge. So it's not the most exciting matter, but there are some consequences. Number one, that bridge has been reduced to 1 lane. Number two, 11 tons is the maximum for a vehicle to traverse over that bridge. And the concern, of course, is, as you can imagine, if there's a major fire in Zox subdivision, will one of our fire trucks be able to traverse over that bridge without crashing into the canal below? Well, the Zox residents are very accommodating. They're very responsive. It's one of the oldest subdivisions in West Bloomfield. And the meeting, as you suggested, on February the 9th, is like a town hall meeting. It's by Zoom. And the township will share with the residents of Zox the issues with the various bridges. There are 13 bridges within the Zox subdivision, and ultimately that bridge will have to be repaired. One could easily say, well, where does the money come from? And it's unfortunate that there are no grants that I know of, and we're not able to pay for it. We can't use taxpayers' dollars to recreate or renovate a bridge in another area of the township or any area of the township when other areas of the township are not receiving similar treatment. But anyway, that meeting, I believe, is at 6 o'clock. Hope I'm right about that. And that's February the 9th. And we hope all the Zox residents can participate and attend.
Steve, you mentioned having those Zox residents on the Zoom call there. Is it open to all residents in the Zox community, as well as can you tell us who from Town Hall will be in that Zoom call?
A good question, Maddie. There will be 3 township board members of the 7. We can't have more than 3. If we do, then it implicates the Open Meetings Act, and the meeting would have to be televised, and so this is a non-televised meeting. But I believe that if a resident outside of Zox wishes to attend, he can call my office, and we'll provide the Zoom link, and certainly that person will be able to attend.
And Steve, as we wrap up, are there any other updates in Town Hall in the township that you want to share with us at this time?
I do have some good news to report. Well, it starts off as bad news, where a West Bloomfield resident, his wife calls 911 because her husband was suffering from arrhythmia, and the fire department arrives, and the gentleman had passed out twice and was looking as though he might pass away. The 4 firefighters from West Bloomfield, as you know, our firefighters also are paramedics. And they treated the patient at the home. They transported him to Henry Ford Hospital, and a pacemaker is being installed. I just want to read this one part where he says, "If there is any way you can identify these great people," meaning the names of the 4 firefighters, "I could tell them how grateful I am. I'm receiving a new pacemaker and defibrillator. Great people, and I'm so appreciative." So, Maddie, I know I sound like a cheerleader for West Bloomfield, but this is not an uncommon response by our firefighters. They arrive to emergencies usually in fewer than 4 minutes, and here another life was saved.
Great, amazing story, and thank you for sharing with us. Obviously, so grateful for all of our police officers and firefighters here in West Bloomfield. So thank you for sharing that with us this morning, Steve.
Thanks, Maddie.